Good morning. Today I'm going to show you how to make a density column because I've got a ton of stuff planned today and I'm really worried that I'm not going to get everything done. So I'm going to show you the density column here so that you can go to the internet later and check it out. So here's what I've got. I've got a great big column here that is something that you can see how the different things go. I'm going to start off with this pile of random stuff. I've got a golf ball. I've got a piece of rubber tubing, like something that would come off of a broken slingshot. I'm doomed come the zombie apocalypse. I've got pop beads, and for those of you that don't know what pop beads are, they're like these little kids' toy that you had when you were like a little girl. And if you weren't ever a little girl, maybe your little sister had them, and you put them together like this. Doot. 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 And you make like little bracelets. Ooh. All right. And so then I have those. I have a little piece of clay. I have a little piece of wood. So I've got all these little things here. I'm going to put them in my density column. Now, all of these things have a density more than air. So they sink in the air. See? Sinking. Totally cool, right? So, most of you guys are like, yes, Miss Martin, totally unexciting. So, what are you going to show us next? Water. Okay, so when I add the water, some things sink and some things float. And you're like, duh, I know that. So the golf ball sinks, and the clay sinks, and the little piece of wood floats, and the little piece of rubber tubing floats, and the pop beads float. So this is what we've got. This is called a density column. Now, this is something that you could easily do at home, but I've got more stuff. So, cooking oil. Ordinary thing, you've got this at home. Check it out. Do-do-do. As the cooking oil settles, you can see that the rubber tubing no longer floats in cooking oil. It's actually more dense than the cooking oil. This is going to settle out a little bit, but since it's more dense than the cooking oil, but the little pop beads and the piece of wood are less dense than the cooking oil, so it works out just fine. So we've got a little thing here. It's kind of floating in the middle. Corn syrup. It's by the pancake aisle. So you take corn syrup, oh my goodness, check it out. The golf ball's floating. It's floating. Do I need to put more? I think I need to put more in. I'm making a total mess. Oh my goodness. All right. So, the oil that was down here, or the water that was down here, is now working its way back up. And the oil that was down here is working its way back up. So here we've got corn syrup, and the golf balls floating in the corn syrup. We still have the clay down at the bottom. We've got our little piece of rubber tubing here. And then we've got our two things up here. Just because it's cool, this is molasses. It's great in cookies. Whoa! Here it goes. Look, the golf ball floats in the molasses too. But the molasses kind of stays above the corn syrup. Now, molasses and corn syrup have really similar densities. So it doesn't surprise me that it's not quite even, because it's possible they have the same density. But they're not mixing because I'm not going to stick my finger, not going to stick anything down there and stir it. Now, last thing. This is the one thing that you probably don't have at home. This is isopropyl alcohol. And this is kind of like the stuff you put on your cuts, except for the stuff you put on your cuts is really only about 3% actual alcohol, and the rest is water. This is 97% alcohol and very, very little water. So it actually has the density of the isopropyl alcohol. It mixes a little bit with the cooking oil right at the beginning. Looks like our molasses density is definitely the same as our corn syrup density. So, cause see our little clay ball down here is kind of getting pressed out. I think by the time you guys get to class, you might not be able to see that clay ball anymore. Looks like I should have left the molasses out, but it's so cool. So we have alcohol. Oops, we have wood block, alcohol. Oh, there's our pop bead. Do you see the pop bead? And then here is the cooking oil. And then this is the rubber tubing. Then we have water, golf ball, sugary stuff with molasses and corn syrup, and clay. This is a density column. And making them is kind of sticky and gross, so I'm only going to do it this once, and hopefully it'll be online for you later today. Have a good day.